This is a production of PBS 39.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amy Burkett. Last month, U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales visited Allentown to tout a new federal grant program to fight drugs and gang violence. While here, he met with Pastor Jim Rivera. He's a community leader who's making waves in the city and working to rebuild a community ravaged by crime. And what makes him unique is that he's earning the respect of drug dealers and city officials alike. Senior correspondent Jeff Chirico shows us how his efforts are making an impact on Allentown's First Ward.
Gritty, crime-ridden, Allentown's poorest First Ward is a place where many are forgotten, except by the lure of drugs.
How you doing, man?
And Jim Rivera's team of helpers.
Get you some lights and stuff, man.
Under the 8th Street Bridge, Steve, Al, and Cindy welcome the crew to their home.
This is the dining room.
There's a pantry of canned food, a neat line of shoes bedside.
They are so sweet and so good to me.
Rivera's team comes down each season bearing goods, like a lantern and batteries for a radio.
They bring a lot of food, help you out with everything you want. Toiletry, cleaning up stuff, everything you need. See, I like that.
Some way to let them know that somebody loves them. It's sad, man. It takes me back to where I used to be.
Are you ready? Come on! You have time.
On the corner of Ridge and Shoe Streets,
Morning into dancing.
with Pastor Jimmy at the helm, City Limits Assembly of God Church is rebuilding a neighborhood.
We're breathing life back into a community.
Our passion really isn't just inside what happens in these doors, it's what happens outside. And that's why we keep going outside.
A Philadelphia native, Rivera and his wife Deborah came to Allentown 13 years ago to start a ministry unlike any Allentown had seen.
And I said, Deb, let's go to Allentown. And I came here and I went to Tillman Street and I said, tell me where the worst neighborhood is.
We actually put some flyers out that we were coming to the area. We wanted to help make a difference in this area.
And that they are. Riding in on a motorcycle, you know immediately Pastor Jimmy's not your typical minister. He does most of his work outside the church, helping his community reject drugs, stop transiency, and provide role models for kids.
What do you think that we should get her as a graduation?
His energy never stops. He's going all the time. It's constant involvement.
The Riveras have become well known in this part of the city for giving out Christmas trees during the holidays. But throughout the rest of the year, they help feed and counsel the needy. They organize street cleanups and youth groups. They help some of the struggling families pay their bills, and they organize financial management classes to help people in this neighborhood buy their own homes.
Because then it's people that own, that stabilize, they know each other's kids, and they protect each other.
If you feel like you've been crushed and you've just been beaten.
His compassion helps turn lives around. Heidi Westerman was sexually abused from the age of 2. At 26, the mother of 2 placed a gun in her mouth. She met Pastor Jimmy a week later.
He looked at me and, he said, I know what it's like to sit with a loaded gun in my mouth wanting to end all the pain. And I just started to cry because I realized that nobody knew that. Nobody knew that story. Nobody knew that I had done that.
In the past 7 years, Pastor Jimmy helped Heidi develop social skills and self-esteem.
I would go into his office and I'd be very intimidated and I'd knock real soft on the door. And, he'd go, get out here and come back in with a little confidence, And he'd keep doing it to me until I was finally like, what do you want from me? And he's like, that's what I want from you. And he taught me how to, to stand up for myself, to learn to express my feelings.
He helped teach Ray Seidel, a 20-year alcoholic, to read, and bassist Mike Hook how to live in the real world without heroin.
I was completely freaked out at life. I had been in a program for a year. They told me when to eat, when to get up, when to sleep, and that was good for that time. But now I have to deal with reality.
Mike moved in with the Riveras for a year. Now he lives in Timothy's home, a former crack house next to the church that Pastor Jimmy turned into a mentoring home to help addicts re-enter society.
Recovery is a process, not an event. Long after that addiction is over, whatever it was, the attitudes need to continue to change.
During the day, you'll find Mike sweeping Hamilton Street. He's employed by Rivera's Reach Home Community Services, a company that's contracted to do maintenance, landscaping, and construction. It employs ex-cons and former addicts.
I wanted to be able to get people who no one trusted and who maybe had come out of prison or from some other kind of bad life-controlling problem, and then get them to a place where they could find a job and pay their fines and take care of their license problems.
I have a quality life here. And I believe that a quality life and a guy who's re-entering, having that hope and that quality of life really makes drugs pale in comparison.
Rivera knows what Mike and others need. He was a homeless heroin addict for 14 years. He has scars from the beating he got for stealing drugs. So he knows how to handle dealers and gangs. His non-confrontational approach has helped get up to 20 guns off the streets, and some gangsters too.
And I think that's what makes Pastor Rivera's work so extraordinary, is that he's willing to meet people wherever they're at.
I don't think I'd be as effective as I am, or be the kind of person and compassionate person I am, if I hadn't suffered as much as I did.
That compassion has helped him earn the respect of criminals and city officials alike.
He's done a lot of great things so far. Wish I could clone him and actually put him around in different neighborhoods throughout the city.
The community, through him, has come to know the police department better. Once the community gets that trust and the rapport with the police department, it makes them a lot more open to talking with us.
Now he can walk up down the street and he actually has like protection from the local little gangs or the people selling drugs. I mean, they're like, don't touch with Pastor Jim, you know.
His work isn't driven by dogma. He's not trying to convert anyone either. He simply wants to be a force for good in his community and reach out to the forgotten.
And without him, where would you be?
Probably back in the gutter. Probably back in the gutter.
But Pastor Jimmy and his Reach team are in the gutter too, offering a hug and a hand.
I love them. It's a kiss from my heart.
For Tempo, I'm Jeff Chirico reporting.
Oh, we salute them for all the great work that they're doing. Reach Community Services plans to continue its commitment by buying dilapidated old homes and crack houses. They're working to create another mentoring home for women. For more information, you can log on to our website at WLVT.org.